Again, I'm sorry for the late upload yesterday. I was busy. But today, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on anxiety. And yes, I do suffer from anxiety. The one I have is GAD, or Generalized Anxiety Disorder. But the main thing today isn't about, well, I'm doing my own spin on it. Instead of just talking about anxiety, I'm going to talk about it from like a Christian or religious standpoint. So here I go. So first thing I want to say is in Philippians, and it is Philippians 4:4-6. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Oh. Sorry for the pause, my mom came in. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Okay. Now this and that. So that's the first verse. So what I get from that is pretty well. Before I cover that, let me do one more, because I am also going to mention this one in what I'm about to say. So the first one again I read is Philippians 4 through Philippians 4 6 Philippians 4 sorry Philippians 4 through, that's Ephesians. Philippians 4 through 7. So that's the first one I read. And the next one will be, once I find it, So what was I gonna? Yes, we need to rejoice in God and knowing that He's there for us. But with like GAD, or Generalized Anxiety Disorder, Panic Disorder, PTSD, OCD, all of that can be diagnosed with criteria from the DSM. I think we're still using the DSM-5, so that, which is a manual, diagnostic and statistical manual of psychological or mental, something like that, disorders. So this anxiety I'm talking about isn't just the normal everyday, oh, I have this to do, I have that to do, will I make it to this on time, will I make it to that on time? But also, with that being said, it's not that, it's more of a overwhelming feeling of just your mind being full with all the thoughts you're thinking, plus I don't know the word I want to use. It's all your thoughts being clumped together as one, and then you catastrophize everything, and that's how anxiety starts. And then from there you can feel it in your head like a headache or tightness in your chest. Some people, their stomach starts getting upset and makes it feel like they have to puke or something. So there's that. And then Philippians 4-13, which this is a verse I love. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then, gosh. There was another one that. Anyway, so those two verses and one I can't find. So I read Philippians 4, I believe 4-7, and then the one I just read, which is Philippians 4-13. So yes, all anxiety comes from within, but as I said before, OCD, generalized anxiety, panic disorder, PTSD, I think that's all of them. All those, though they start in the heart, it also has to do with your hormones, which are the chemicals in your body. If you don't have what's the word? Have enough neurotransmitters, which are dopamine, serotonin, and other chemicals in your body that offsets your brain, and because you have so much can't think of what it's called. dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. Anyways, the what they call I call it the anxiety chemical. If you have too much of that and not enough of, like norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin, your anxiety goes up. That's why a lot of people with anxiety end up going to the gym and working out a lot. And this also includes depression. I don't have depression, but when you are low on serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, I think that's one of them too, then you have more of the why can't I think of the name of it? The neurotransmitter that causes anxiety and depression. So you need more of the feel-good hormones, or feel-good chemicals, which are the, like I said, dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that last one correctly. So anyways, with that being said, yes, we are supposed to give all our cares and anxieties and fears to God, but with a mental disorder or mental health issue, a mental health issue of anxiety isn't exactly, what's the word I'm looking for? Exactly the what they're talking about in the Bible. The problem of anxiety they're talking about in the Bible is just every day. Oh, am I gonna get here on time? Am I gonna do this on time? Oh, I have to get this paper in by so and so. Oh, I have to get to work by this time so I can be off at this time, so I can be with my family at this time. Or am I gonna get this day off because somebody I care about just passed away? Am I gonna get this promotion or that promotion, or am I gonna get fired? Am I gonna get if you're an actor, but if you do plays, not like an actual, not per se like you are on, I don't know, let me just use Hannah Montana as an example. You're an actor on that, but I'm also talking about like Broadway musicals. If you're gonna get a callback, if you're gonna be the lead, if you're gonna be a backup person, if you're gonna be a singer, all those are normal anxieties that the Bible's talking about that we should give to God. But when it comes to the mental illness or mental health issue of anxiety, yes, we can go to God for that too, but you have to understand that though you have the mental health issue of anxiety, and God may not be able to help with that exactly, but oh, I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, even though all the regular anxieties are in there with your mental health issue of either PTSD or generalized or panic disorder, God can help with the regular anxieties, but He cannot, and I will repeat that, He cannot give you relief from your generalized anxiety or your PTSD or your panic disorder. For that, you have to go get counseling, maybe some medication, have a good support system around you. And all that will help with the mental health side of anxiety. Well, if you're Christian or whatever background you're in, God will help with the thoughts that are causing your anxiety, but then the mental health side comes in where you need a therapist or a counselor or a psychiatrist and medication and a good support system and eating healthily, sleeping enough, exercising, and all that will help your anxiety too. So yes, go to God and tell Him the thoughts that are causing your anxiety, and He can help with that. But then you also need to go and get actual mental health support help. Like I said already, medication, therapy, psychiatrists, your regular doctor, your general care doctor. I can't think of what they're actually called. Primary care physician. And just a good support system around you, like your family, your friends, if you have a church, if you're still in school, your teachers and staff. And just all that can help your mental. Well, God is helping the physical aspect of your anxiety. And yes, it will take a long time to get everything in order and make sure you're doing everything correctly. But with God by your side, this is just my experience. I can tell you that with all the mental side covered and with God by your side, yes, you'll have up and downs just like with everything else, but for the most part, with God by your side, you can get through it. And actually, I'll also tell you about how we figured out my anxiety, how we figured out that I have generalized anxiety. So this is back a few years ago. I think it was for my 16th birthday or 15th birthday, something like that. We went to Disneyland, me and my parents, and they allowed me to bring one of my friends. So we got the park hopper, so we went to both Disney's California Adventure and Disneyland. But while we were in California Adventure, me, my dad, and my friend went on, I want to say this roller coaster's name right, even though they're changing it to Pixar Pier. The one when I went on it was called, I believe, California Screamin'. And since it went so fast at the beginning, my dad thought I got whiplash. So we went on that, we ate lunch, it wasn't until we got in line to ride the Tower of Terror, which is now the Mission Force, Mission something, another Mission Authority or something, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride now at Disney California Adventure. But when we got in the line to that, that's when the actual, I guess you can say, symptoms of anxiety started showing. I was shaking, I couldn't make up my mind whether I wanted to ride it or not, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's when we first started thinking, okay, it might be anxiety, but then that night we went to the emergency room because I couldn't sleep, and they said it wasn't anxiety, that it was dehydration. But then after that, it happened again when we went to Universal, again with friends. And that night again I had to go to the emergency room. And that time they said it was anxiety. Then it happened, a more milder one happened. I still couldn't sleep, so we again hightailed it to the emergency room. And that time, again, they said it was dehydration. So we never really understood what it was. But then I started seeing not psychiatrist, not therapist, anyways, another doctor that deals with your brain. A neurologist. And he finally said, yeah, I think she might have generalized anxiety disorder. So then he put me on, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I know it's the generic of the one I have is, I think you pronounce it escitalopram. And it's the generic of, they always want to say Prozac, but I know it's not Prozac. But anyway, that's what I take to help with my anxiety. Also drinking water, eating healthily, taking vitamins. Of course I go to church. What else? That's all I can think of, actually. So thank you for watching. Comment below, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notifications whenever I upload. And I will start making sure I'm not too busy and upload on the days I say I'm gonna upload, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, yep.